Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Me Monday, where I believe that Mondays should be optional. Not so optional for me today. I got a couple appointments and a couple errands to run. So hello, everyone, and welcome to this Me Monday, like I said, and welcome to H.U.L.A Ministries if this is your first time, on this YouTube, we are Overcomers Anonymous, where we support those desiring to overcome anything. If you'd like to make an anonymous, non-judgmental, confidential call, you can at 267-437-7790. If you prefer writing, write at H.U.L.A Ministries, P.O. Box 1543, Wilmington, Delaware 19899. Remember to give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay, and thank you. So, on this Me Monday, let me get my weight first. Okay, and so basically, the scale is saying 140, and you know I've been kind of hovering around 140, which, in my estimate, lets you know that sometimes God doesn't let us look like what we've been through. So for me to be still hovering around 140 is a blessing in itself. Because when I tell you, I have been having a rough time. Now, I'm glad that I got myself together, or the Lord got me together a little bit today to do this YouTube, because when I actually wrote this YouTube, I was balled up on the couch in a fetal position, to tell the truth. Because in trying to get free of this food addiction where I binge out, and then I used to fast, to lose the weight. I don't really fast for that anymore. The Lord is helping me, but it's not over. And so what has come up out of me this week is basically like, and this is my introduction, it's basically like how hard it is to break an addiction when a parent has brought you into a particular thing. And so I had promised some parent tips, and I would have to say that this would be parent tip number 1. If you party in front of your kids, you get high in front of your kids, drink liquor, use drugs, whatever, are you under the influence in front of your kids? You're making a statement. You're telling the kids, number 1, you're probably laughing, having a good time, all that kind of stuff. You're probably telling the kids that it's fun, it's okay, you know what I mean? And they building a bond, even though they may not be using, and you may be just drinking a beer. You're making a statement that, oh yeah, the world says that this has health risk, and the world says that you should. The church says that you should not do that. You should be sober, but mommy or daddy says, turn up. Okay, and so tip number 1, keep that crap with grown people if you do it at all. Okay, so, and what I'm experiencing when I say I'm having a hard time, and what came up, it's a few things, okay. Number 1, and these are not necessarily in order, but, I had a chance to write it. It says, when a bond is created, I'm having a hard time because a bond is created with a parent for me over food. Okay. And so when a parent brings you into something, usually it's something that they consider good, something that in some way would protect you. In some ways it may be a remedy to a problem. But however, it's hard for us to throw that thing down and call it bad when a parent has brought us into that. And that kind of pulled me into number 2. It's hard to get out of it it's hard to call something wrong, because in our minds, when we call a particular thing wrong that a parent has brought us into, it's like calling a parent wrong. And to us, parents are God. before we meet the true God. Our parents are really the first God that we know. We don't see them as doing anything wrong. So we would rather call ourselves wrong before we call a parent wrong. But we need to be able, as an adult, to look at a situation and call it wrong, and call a parent wrong for bringing us into that. Okay? And sometimes we may accept whatever it is that the parent brought us into as love. We don't know of no other kind of way. Okay? And we may even call and I may be getting into another one of these numbers here. We may even be calling cooperation safety. Okay? We fear not portraying, acting out in the ways that we were taught by our parents. We fear not doing that. We don't know life. In other words, we don't know life apart from that. We don't know what we would be doing without the thing that the parent brought us into, whether it be drugs or sex or beer, whatever it is, eating dirt. Some people eat dirt, believe it or not. Okay? In the past, cooperation solved the problem. Maybe it kept you from maybe what you felt like you were going to get killed. In my case, I thought that I was going to get killed. Maybe you protected a parent. Maybe it kept a parent you thought out of prison. Maybe it kept a parent from being beaten up by the parent that brought you into the situation. Whatever the case, in your mind, it solved the problem. Okay. Number 7. Okay. I'm getting mixed up here. I'll go over it again in a minute if I got time. Okay, number 7. We believe that we will die if we do not do the addictive thing. Or we believe that maybe some other person will be harmed if we do not do the addictive thing. So therefore, it could be a pseudo. Now, let's just say a parent brought us into something. And so, if you're a female, you meet another guy, another woman, whatever, male, female. And they are the pseudo. So because these very behaviors that we act out, and usually they're done in secret, because usually a parent don't get on a mountaintop and say, yeah, I brought my child into sex. Hey, good for me. Or I brought my child into drugs and alcohol. And no. Parents won't do that. So this stuff is done in secret, okay? And so therefore, kids would deny these things is happening because a parent brought them into it, okay? Now, the child to the pseudo, if they don't cooperate with the pseudo, because when a wrong thing happens to a child, development stops. So they may find themselves acting out, if not only, but in secret, because they're trying to make sense of what happened to them. They're trying to get the love, the good direction that was due them, instead of, sexual or drugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they would act out with the pseudo. In other words, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a person they're supposed to have a relationship, okay? So they do these things sometimes in order to feel safe. When they feel unsafe, not doing it, okay? And so, all right, number 9. There's lies connected to them cooperating. Okay, and so I don't know what lies were connected to yours, but the lies that were connected to mine was that if I cooperated, I would get more love. And hopefully between the lines of these things, you may see your situation, okay, that I would get more love. And raised with, 8 siblings, you want to be up top trying to get some love. So I thought I would get more love, affection, and attention, and I never got that. My mother was pretty fair, okay? And so basically I got called fat. But it was to her, it was in an affectionate kind of way. But to me, it was an offense because my mother wanted to be fat. And I thought that it was her that ran my father away. And so therefore, I felt that in order to keep a man, that I had to be slim and trim, baby. I had to look good. Mama had to look good. And so, I worked on that thing. And even though that was a bad thing, what I experienced in, becoming, more concerned about my weight and all of that. Even though it was a bad thing, it turns out that it worked to my benefit because I learned to take care of myself. I learned to be concerned about my weight and all that, which is very helpful. But it was for the wrong reason. So, okay, so where does our help come from? Matthew 11:28 says that, come unto me, and this is Christ speaking, come unto me, all ye that are all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Now, so I know that my help comes from Christ. I know that it ain't coming from nowhere else. Okay. So in all these years, nothing else helped. The pseudo, he just took advantage. Okay. But my help is coming from God. So it's like, pray for me because I want to ignore these things that I'm into. And so it doesn't look like I'm going to have time to finish these things because my time is running up. So I'm sorry, just kind of go over it. And it's about 9 of them. So, because my time is running out. So, now to him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise God, our Savior, be glory, majesty, dominion, and power, both now and ever. Amen. I'm going to try to do it until this thing shut off. If it's shut up, it's okay. Okay, so, deal with the lies that you told and why you cooperate. That was number 9. The child may act out these behaviors in order to feel safe. The person may feel, this is number 7, feel that they would die or somebody else would be harmed if they didn't cooperate. In the past, number 6, cooperating meant that you were solving a problem. Okay. Number 5, and even maybe protecting your family. Okay. Solving a problem. Number 5, addictive substance gave a sense of false safety, a false safety, but even though you felt safe, we fear not portraying or acting out in ways taught by parents. We fear not doing that because we look at them as somebody great. We accept the substance or what we were brought into as love. We get out of it. We're afraid to call parents wrong for what they brought us into, but we're going to have to at least call what you came into wrong. You don't have to call a parent wrong if you don't want to, but you got to call what they brought you into wrong. And finally, a bond has been created with a parent. And so when we get rid of that thing, it feels almost like we're getting rid